Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Gardening, and we will be talking about a summer blooming exotica, the Clivia Miniata. The Clivia belongs to the Amaryllidaceae family and their place of origin is South Africa. They're also called the bush lily or the natal lily. This is called natal lily because it is native to a place called KwaZulu-Natal. And ironically, they are used as herbal medicines for pregnancy related complications. But it is advisable to not indulge in this since there is not much scientific evidence backing such claims and overconsumption can be lethal. This is poisonous because it contains a compound called lycorine, so keep this away from curious pets and toddlers. They are characterized by these very dark green leaves that are stacked in this fashion one above the other, and they bloom during the summer months, and the blooms do last a little longer than the hippastrum for sure. The blooms form a cluster like this, and mine is orange in color, but they commonly come in yellow and cream too, I've read. If you are lucky, you will get several bloom stalks that arise from such leaf centers. So let's look at its care conditions. Sunlight. This does well in part in full sun but prefers bright partial sunlight locations. This can be grown indoors provided it gets very bright southwest sunlight exposure, but again outdoor growth is preferred for this to bloom. For me, they bloom generally between February to March and also sometimes between August to September. Watering. This does not like wet feet, so water when the soil is dry, but at the same time don't let it go too dry, so water especially when the weather outside is hot. The root structure is rhizomatous, so it can store water if needed. They also have adventitious roots protruding out of the soil like this that helps with added anchorage. Reduce water when the plant is dormant during the colder months. Soil media. They like a well-draining compost-rich soil media that can hold some amount of water. So use a mix of 30% sand, 30% compost and 20% garden soil and 20% coco peat. Fertilizing. Add a generous amount of compost during the summer months and that would do. Add banana peel for extra blooming. Propagation. If you grow clivia in the ground, you will get more clivias and you can divide them one rhizome at a time and grow new plants. Mine for some reason hasn't formed new clumps, so I have to depend for now on seeds. And you can see here that the seed pods, when fertilized, will plump up, but it takes a lot of time for the fruit to dry and produce seeds. When the seed pods fall off with the slightest of touch, it means that they are ready to be harvested. This is how the seeds will look like. I'm not really sure about its success rate. I've tried sowing some and hopefully they'll produce new plants, and I will update this with the YouTube shots. Pests and diseases. This could be attacked by mealies and such common pests, but I have not seen mine being troubled by any such critters or diseases as of now. Container size. This does not need a very big or deep container. A fairly sized, even shallow containers would do. If you can grow this in the ground, it can clump up and do well. Post-blooming care. Do not cut off the bloom stalks. Let them degenerate on their own, thereby providing the nourishment the plant needs for blooming the next season. So folks, if you see this orange extravaganza shining at you in a nursery shelf, bring it home and give your garden this orangey sheen it deserves. And with this, we've come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Gardening, and I really hope you enjoyed this particular program. Additionally, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are given below. And always remember, to grow slow is to grow well. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, a very warm goodbye.